See, although now here our gathering is taking place in a very simple way, very plain and simple, homely way, but it is valuable. Sometimes or often in the higher spiritual world, often things happen in a apparently plain, simple way, yet they are very valuable, very beneficial. So, one of our great principles, I repeat, one of our great principles and ideals, mottos, is to focus, to engage our mind and heart in Krishna consciousness any way possible. It is stated in scripture by a verse, Jena tena prakarena manah Krishne niveshayet. Anyhow, by any means, anyhow, put your mind and heart to Krishna, engaging in Krishna consciousness. That is our main purpose. That is our main real purpose. So sometimes means, ways can vary, but anyway, anyhow, you devote your mind and heart to Krishna. Be in Krishna consciousness. That is our motto, our great aim in life. So sometimes many valuable things can manifest in our life, very beneficial things can manifest in our life in apparently simple, plain way. But this simple way of, plain way of manifestation do not necessarily mean, they are not valuable. They are very valuable. Very beneficial. We find sometimes in a plain way, from a simple way of thought process, big scientific discoveries even come. They get some thread. Okay. Sitting in his house and while thinking, thoughtful, natural, simple way, some valuable thoughts appear. They come to appear, and although it looks like very simple, plain thought, but some great clue is there, and that leads the scientist to some great discovery. Happens. So, for the examples of planting seeds look very plain and simple job, simple activity, but the result can be very big. From the stage of plantation of seeds, and as it sprouts, when it gets further cultivated, grows up and up, takes the shape, can take the form as a big tree. Okay, it can appear in the form of a big, huge tree with so much fruits, many fruits. So, all those things remain in a prospective way in the form of a seed. Just a small seed. Planting of the seeds. So, except for the matured, apart from the very mature, intelligent people, one may not understand how big gain can come from the action of planting of the seeds. But only mature, experienced wise people can understand, yes. The job of planting the seeds, work of the planting seeds may look so very simple, small activity, nothing is happening right now. Planting seeds in the mud, a lot of water and mud and everything. Nothing is there. But they understand in the prospect, potential prospect is going to bring so much gain in the lives of those who are planting seeds, the owner of the cultivations. A similar way. We are now today gathered here in this apparently simple, plain way, only few people. But anyhow, anyway, whenever we engage in divine Radha Krishna consciousness, engage in talking about the Supreme Divine Absolute, Supreme Divine Absolute Truth, Supreme Person, our beloved Lord, it becomes immensely beneficial. Any way we engage never goes in vain. Even the small effort, slightest effort, with sincerity in relation to the Supreme Divine Person, our beloved Lord, can never go in vain. It's very, very worth. Very, very worth. If we cannot find the immediate result, it is so worthy in the future to come. Okay. When it will come with big results, big gain, then you understand. So worthy. So worth. So. So, Lord Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna, other great realized souls say, even the slightest connection, slightest genuine connection with the Supreme Divine can bring so much benefits in your life, is so valuable, invaluable, so pricelessly important. Slightest connection. I also explained about the same reality in Paris, you may remember, in my Harikatha in Paris. Salpam apyasya dharmasya trayati mahato bhaya. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even the slightest connection of my dharma, even the slight connection, very small connection with me, can bring you great gain, benefit in your life. Salpam api dharmasya. Even the slightest connection with my dharma, my devotion, my consciousness can bring you great benefits, can bless you with great spiritual wealth, divine wealth in life. It's the promise of the Lord. Sometimes we see, while walking on the path of our life, some opportunities appear in a simple, plain way, but they're very valuable opportunity, like big opening for the future. Apparently looks like so simple, innocent, okay, not so great opportunity, not so valuable, but if we take the opportunity and follow, it can open up bigger opportunity, further bigger opportunities in the future. It starts in a small way, but as it continues further, goes further, it becomes bigger. Opens up more and more, it gets bigger and bigger. So like you're rowing, you're boating through the river, going, and then when you merge into the ocean, meet the ocean, where from river coming, or where from the river is merging, ultimately, river coming from the mountain, and then merging into the ocean. So all rivers are more or less finally connected to the ocean, all the great rivers. So when we are taking the path of a river, it may look like just a river, not so big, nice river, but through the river connection, when we connect to the ocean, there is ultimately it brings me to the ocean, big ocean. So huge, so magnanimous, so magnificent, with majestic beauty and feelings. So river brings me ultimately to the ocean. So happens. Sometimes we follow this small path, narrow small path, apparently looking so simple, plain, then it brings us to the big highway, connects us to the big highway. Although in the beginning it may not, if we don't know, then we won't realize this small path narrow path can lead me finally to the big, huge highway, central highway, to my destination. So, in the higher spiritual life, in the world of mystically wonderful spiritual experience, often things happen like that. Starts in a small, simple, plain way, but finally leads us to most valuable achievements. So today, at this moment, I feel like that. 4 people, 5 people, talking about Krishna, very nice, more personal feelings, homely way. Sometimes we see a baby elephant, although looking baby small, but connected to very big elephant, powerful mom, powerful father. We may look simple, little, but our father, our mother, our source is very big, connected to very big, infinite, supreme. See, all the atoms look so small, atomic level, atomic particles. But when they are put into process, they bring out so much power from within. So apparently, things apparently looking small is not so small by capacity. They can be causing, they can be manifesting some subtle power from within. Atomic particles are a good example. Atomic particles, subatomic particles, or different dimensions of the energy flow in the cosmos, very subtle. Like ether, radio frequency, and electromagnetic frequencies. Okay, light waves, light frequencies, sound frequencies, flowing through ethereal media. They're all very subtle, not like gross object. They don't apparently look huge, like big gross objective appearance, like gross, huge objective matter. They don't look like that. But they are no less powerful, rather more powerful than something apparently looking so huge and big. Material objects. Their energy working as an energy dimension. No less powerful, no less important, because they are looking small and so fine, subtle. Subtle is no less important, no less valuable than the gross. Rather, gross also being directed, being sustained, maintained by the subtle energy. So Lord Krishna said, Manmana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mang namaskuru mame vaishyashi sattanti pratijani priyoshini. Manmana bhava. Make your mind filled with me. Put your mind and heart on me. Madbhakto bhava. Become my devotee. Become my lover devotee. Loving devotee. Madhyaji. Engage in loving worships, loving adoration of me. Pay obeisance to me. I am your great loving guardian, beloved Lord, come loving guardian. So, if you can connect with me, I am always there for you. But I would like to see you are coming forward to me on your own desire, heart's desire. Not that I am making you to come to me. Then I relish it much more. If I make you, through my will, if I make you to come towards me, then I don't relish it, because that's what I am making. You are not doing it on your own. Okay. I cannot make you, direct you to love me. You have already been given capacity of loving me within you. So I would love to see you are doing it on your own sweet will and choice, on your own will and sweet choice. You are coming forward to love me, devote to me, embrace me with so much love and devotion, engaging in my service. Then I am so happy. I relish it a lot, really, because that's what you are doing. I don't force you to, I don't direct you, make you love me, but you do it on your own. I relish that a lot. But when I make you do that, I inspire you, I make you to come towards me, relate to me, I also relish that, appreciate, but not so much. I don't have so much taste for that, because I am making you do that. That's why everything I am making, what you are doing on your own, on your independent choice. So love is the independent choice. Free, very free, beautiful choice of our heart's feeling to love, to devote, lovingly devoting to Lord. Krishna, that's what Krishna wants. Krishna wants from us. When we can offer that, he loves to taste that. So he says, Manmana bhava. Put your mind and heart to me, on me. Means devote your mind and heart on me. At least try. Sincerely try to do that. You may not be very successful in the beginning, may not feel great attachment towards me in the beginning. At least keep on trying with all your sincerity. You can try. Then it will happen. At some point, it will happen in reality. That is called sadhana, cultivation, process of cultivation. Cultivation means trying, lot of trying involved in the process of cultivations. Not that we're starting with the success in the beginning. Not that we are beginning with success and success without trying. Not that we are receiving all result in the beginning, in the initial stage. No. It all starts with sincere endeavor, sincere efforts, means trying. Then as it goes further, continues, it's called cultivations. Then the result, at some point, result starts coming. result starts coming in different degrees according to what degrees we are able to try. We are able to want. Varies. According to the degrees of our sincerity, sincere wanting, hankering, result also comes accordingly. Blessings come accordingly. So, we have to become real friend to our own selves. Instead of becoming my enemy, I have to become friend to myself by inviting, hankering after the highest good of life to me, bringing to me. Have to have that positive self-motivation. Positives. We have to have that positive, highly positive motivation to bring highest good unto me. Becoming best friend of mine. Instead of ignoring, being casual and lazy and just ignoring to do highest good to me, to be doing great good to me. See, Krishna says, you can be your worst enemy, you can also be your best friend. It's up to you. You choose what you want to do. You can be your enemy, you can also be your great friend to yourself. And there is something in neutral in between, neither an enemy nor friendship. But that cannot go on for a long time, the neutrality either. So we have to be positivists. We are perfectionists, positivist. So our aim will be final aim is to achieve the highest divine fulfillment of life, ambrosial perfection, ambrosial fulfillment of life. Not being lazy and careless about ourselves, neglectful, and losing so much opportunity of bringing higher good in my life because we become callous, we become so casual and lazy. We can miss so much. So, our life is a life of optimism, not pessimism. Krishna devotees, in one way, in one great sense, Krishna devotees means supremely optimistic, divinely optimistic. Divinely optimistic ones. Immortally hopeful, not mortally hopeful, immortally hopeful, continuing with the hope which never dies, of immortal character, in relation to the supreme immortality, supreme eternal divine truth, who is called by one of his endeared names as Krishna. Krishna. Govinda, Madhava, Madana Mohana, Gopinatha. He's got many fine names. Shama Sundara. In this way. We are worshipper not only the divine God but also divine goddess, Srimati Radhika. Okay, in interrelationship. So, we are the worshipper, unifying worshipper, the perfect worshipper of divine God and divine goddess, both together. Supreme God, supreme goddess. Krishna Radhika. See, sometimes little spark of the fire can turn into huge blazing fire if the spark is fueled properly. That's how it works in the car starting. Huge car, even the plane or huge aeroplane or train or car, at the starting point, just sparking. And when you hear the sound, it's some sparks happen. And the sparks come in contact with the fuel, gasoline. And then it immediately creates so much fire and energy. But in the beginning it's a spark coming in contact with fueling. Similar way, even a spark of Krishna consciousness can turn into huge fire giving so much light and heat and so much energy. So a spark will see it. Although it's looking so little, looking so small, simple, atomic type, a little bigger than atom. Okay, so small and so little, but it has huge potential. When it comes in contact with the fueling, which is called sadhana, cultivations, spiritual cultivation, it can be turning into a big fire, big energy. Yes.
I have one question regarding what you said. So when we want to cultivate this spark, how do we make sure that we are progressing in the right direction? Because sometimes the feeling is here, sometimes it's gone. Especially, I think in the beginning, it's not stable. So how we make sure?
Yes, that means we cannot bring the spark. We cannot see when we are not feeling some great experience in Krishna consciousness, life of Krishna consciousness, not having it. It means the sparks cannot come in the contact of the fueling, real cultivation. So, some gap remains. Fusion is not happening. When two chemicals brought together and then fusion starts. But until it's mixed with each other, not brought together, fusion doesn't happen. Mutation doesn't take place. So there is something lacking, some shortage. Sparks cannot come. You have to understand, sparks are not coming into contact of the fueling, which is devotional flow of our heart. Okay. But no matter, as we keep on cultivating, some sparks someday will come into contact with the fueling, and it will be working. It will be working. So we don't need to be hopeless. And when the progress starts taking place, you yourself will be experiencing to some extent. It's happening. Now it's happening. So it will be self-evident, self-effulgent to you that maybe in a small way, maybe in the form of glimpse. It's not so easy to easily receive a great spiritual achievement, some big divine achievement. In the beginning it is received like a glimpse. But even the glimpse, sparks of that is so valuable that can turn into whole world of realization in the glimpse of experience. That is also so valuable. Often the great Mahajanas, the great lives, exalted devotees, they often had some realization of the divine truth in the form of glimpse in their life. It appeared, revealed in their heart, in the soul, just for a moment. It just got revealed on the plane of their heart, soul, for a moment, and then it withdrew. But just for a moment realization, that moment's ambrosial experience realizations in the form of glimpse inundated their whole existence with so much satisfaction and pleasure. So, although it appeared momentarily, revealed momentarily and then withdrew, it is so invaluable, so rare. But that moment's experience can inundate whole mind and heart, soul. So much satisfaction and pleasure. I received it. It makes you feel, this is it. This is how it feels. So so beautiful, wonderful, wonderfully thrilling, nectarian experience. Wonderfully nectarian, thrilling experience. Divine. Happens, it will happen. So, but in the initial stage it may not be always working like that, but we keep on trying cultivations, like in the yogic process. In the very initial state, you cannot really get into the world of true meditation or pranayama. But as you are continuing and continuing, some point it clicks. That's how I can say it, clicks. Starts happening. Yes, then you know what it is. Then you love to be doing pranayama, love to be doing meditation, because you know what it is. You've got some idea, taste, maybe a glimpse, but you got it. Even a glimpse can be so powerful in the seed form. So sometimes progress starts happening. Sometimes it is true. You are making progress, spiritual progress through sadhana, but you are not realizing immediately. It takes some time. Like when you are taking medicine, it starts working immediately in our body, but you don't feel the result immediately. After taking medicines for a few times, after time slot, then you start feeling the result. Yes, it's working. But in the very beginning, you may not directly feel that, because it takes some time to be working in action. So, many things start in our life in a very subtle way. In the initial stage, we don't directly realize, don't directly experience them. But when it comes up onto the surface of our ability of understanding, ability of perception, comes up on certain level of the surface of our understanding and experience, then only we understand that, not below that level. Not below that level. Because our range of perception, our jurisdiction, our range of perception is limited. We cannot perceive about the things below that capacity or beyond that capacity. We only can perceive things, experience things only within a certain range of perception, sense perception. But while we receive the ability, we are awarded, blessed with the higher ability, superior ability of realizing about the things, experience about the things beyond our usual level of perception, then we can realize many things beyond our sense perception, through higher feelings, transcending our normal ability, simply transcending our normal capacity. That can also happen. So in the beginning, although in the initial stage, in the beginning of life of spiritual cultivations, although we do not directly understand our progress, may not directly experience about our slow but steady progress, but still we have to understand it happens. So we do not need to be disappointed. As long as we are staying in the process with the sincerity, with full sincerity, and all good intentions to help myself to please Lord in relation to the Supreme Divine Lord, then we know we are making progress. Very slow but steady way. It's happening. It has already started, but it has already started. I have already started accumulating some merits. But it is not so much, it's not yet on the level of my perception that I can directly perceive about it. But I cannot directly experience it right at this moment in the initial stage. Doesn't necessarily mean I am not making any progress. I am doing. Okay, so we can be positive about that, provided that we are cultivating, we are following spiritual life with all sincerity. With all sincerity, truthful way, faithful way. Then it happens. But if there is insincerity, is there hypocrisy, insincerity, or laziness involved, then we cannot get anything. No faith, then we can hardly get anything. So, depending. But when the result will start coming, you will naturally understand about that. Like when you are hungry, eating delicious food, you automatically feel satisfaction. It naturally happens, you feel, I'm so satisfied. You feel so thirsty. Drink water, you feel so satisfied. Just feel that. In a similar way, you will also be feeling. You will also start feeling in a spontaneous way that you are making some progress through some natural satisfaction and happiness. Okay. Sometimes it may not be so felt prominently because of surroundings and the environment. For examples, like when you are on your own, living in a secluded way, on your own, in personal environment, without any distractions, negative distractions, then if you hear some sweet musical songs, some sweet musical melodies, you can appreciate that so much. You can relate and appreciate and taste it so much, sweet musical melodies. But if you play the same sweet musical melodies, going in the open, has so many crowds and a lot of things happening with a lot of noise and everything, you cannot appreciate, cannot connect to the same melodious music. Okay, because of the effect of the noise, so much distractions, sound pollutions in the environment. So if you play that music, you cannot connect to it properly, sweetness. But when you play the same musical melody in a private way, noise-free, private way, in a more personal way, without any distraction, you can release it so much. This is one example. I can give you many more examples like this. You can you can live very happy life, you can do many valuable things, but when the right environment is required, right time, suitable time, place, situation, favorable time, place, situation is required, then things can grow nicely. Like even planting seeds. After planting the seed quality has to be proper. The soil has to be proper. Soil has to be ready, qualified. Seed has to be genuine. Cultivation has to be genuine. Then, after plantation of seeds, it sprouts. But if the seed is dead, the seed is not so healthy, because not so healthy, not so pure. If the soil is not prepared properly where the seed is planted, if the proper irrigation process of cultivation not followed, it cannot sprout. See, so it's depending on time, place, situation, also one's own motive, the individual sincerity and proper wanting, true motive with all truthfulness and faithfulness. So progress depends on all these factors also. And ultimately blessings of the Lord, grace and mercy of the Lord also. Blessings of the devotees, pure devotees and the Supreme Lord. See, so the same seed, while we choose a right seed, healthy seed, and we plant in a healthy soil and cultivate in a healthy way, can sprout, can grow nicely. Ultimately it can be turned into big tree, fruit, producing so many fruits. But the same seed may not work. If it is an unhealthy seed, half live, half dead, then the soil is not ready. So then it dies, it just dies, it cannot sprout. So, depending. But we can always be hopeful. That is natural.
So I've heard someone say in a kata, something that scared me a little bit, but they say if Krishna loves you very much, then he will make sure that you lose everything you have, so you just have him. So which I thought it would be scary.
That verse is Yashaham anugrinnami harisheta dhanaishani. Well, Krishna is playful Lord. Sometimes he plays with his devotees to test the quality of dedication. Test the quality of dedication and devotion. If something is taken away, whether his or her faith and devotion also goes away, also breaks so easily. Is it strong, genuine, or so futile? So conditional. If I playfully take something away, then all faith, all love of the devotee for me is just gone. So it is so conditioned, so selfish. Then it is not so quality devotion before Krishna. So he tests the quality. Often he tests the quality of devotion, dedication in the life of the devotee. Whether he can live life with Krishna, he can live a devotional life in relation to Krishna. In other words, whether he can stay so faithful and loving and devoted to Krishna, not only through happy lifestyle, but also through austere lifestyle, not only through happiness, but also through pains, not only through pleasure relating to him, but also through sacrifice. So some sacrifice, it may take some pain, may take some penance. Okay. So he is playful Lord, so he may test that way. To test the power, quality of devotion, whether it is so fragile, easily breaks, easily sways, easily is so vulnerable that easily it breaks and goes away. Okay, so futile. Whether it is that or still, okay, it is bearing some quality, it's not so easily vulnerable, so not so futile. It is almost unbreakable. Even while passing through the test, when a devotee, while passing from the test of life, of sacrifice, still continuing with full, firm faith and devotion unto Krishna. Then he passes through that test, and those apparent difficulties are just removed. They just taken away by Krishna. Okay, because test is over now. Training period, testing is over now. So we also need to be passing through test. Cannot be easily fluctuating, easily deviating. Cannot just be easily deviating from the faith to Krishna, devotion unto Krishna. As soon as some little test coming, as soon as I have to make some little sacrifice. So we have to love, the ideal is we have to love our beloved Lord through well and woe. Not only through pain, not only through pleasure, but also through pain. Through good time and bad time. When we can do that, Then bad time takes leave very soon. It's no more continued. It's no more allowed to be continued by Krishna. He no more, even if by some karma effect is there, still some misery, bad time is still to continue, misery is still to continue by the merciful intervention, by special merciful intervention of Krishna. Krishna's hand, all those bad karma, bad time, bad things, just take leave, removed, happens. But before that, some testing can take place to make us elite commandos, spiritual elite commandos. So devotees should take all those, when tests come, they should take with the spirit of adventure also. When some taste appear in our life, we cannot be so weak and soft. We can also accept it, okay? Accept that challenge. Welcome it with the spirit of adventure to become more powerful devotee. Instead of remaining as ordinary common devotee, can become more powerful devotee passing through the test. Becoming more powerful like elite commandos. Spiritual elite commandos. I don't mean materially elite commando. I'm just giving the example. So, ultimately nothing is taken away. Ultimately nothing is taken away from the lives of the commandos. Rather it makes them more powerful and strong through the training. Although looks like very distasteful or suffering, but ultimate result is very good. Although exercising may feel in the beginning, I cannot do it, it's so troublesome, I don't like it, but ultimately makes you stronger, makes you healthy. Those tests, training. Then you enjoy better health. Similar way. When some tests appear in the life of Krishna consciousness, welcome it. Take it. Pass it. Telling Lord, you are sending me some test. I am not so weak. I am sincere. I won't be failed. I am not going to fail. Okay? If you can send, if you can allow it to happen in my life, I can also take it. I know you are there. Finally you will be protecting me, just testing me playfully for a while. But finally, since I am your devotee, I have already accepted your shelter, my Lord, my divine Lord, my beloved Lord. Since you know I have already accepted your shelter, I have become your devotee. Sincerely, at least sincerely trying to become your devotee, you know I am sincere. So I know, ultimately you are compassionate. You are compassionate Lord, merciful Lord, so you will be protecting me. Maybe you want to make me stronger, make me more powerful by making me passing through this test. You want to make my devotion, dedication more stronger and powerful. You want to make my faith in you more powerful, testing me whether it easily deviates or still it continues in you. So, okay, I am ready to face it. Upon knowing, ultimately you will be protecting me. You won't be ignoring me. You won't be neglecting me. You won't be leaving me alone. You will be protecting me, nurturing me, since I am your devotee and you are compassionate Lord. You have to do proper justice to your own name, that you are Lord of compassion. Your own quality, that you are Lord of compassion, Lord of mercy. Otherwise you won't be doing proper justice to your own qualifications. In this way. So, back to the point. Sometimes it may happen that way. Krishna step, naughty, through his naughty, playful way with the devotee. He takes away everything, all material wealth and riches and facilities, everything. And then see, still that devotee continues to relate with him with full, firm faith and devotion. If he sees that, then Krishna also gets defeated. Okay. And the devotee immediately passes the high marks, excellent marks, passes through that test. And thereafter, no more sacrifice. Everything is given back. Anything taken away temporarily, all material wealth, riches, name, fame, facility, the mystical way, all coming back in the life of the devotee. That's what we see in the great lives. When you look into the great lives of the great pure devotees, their life is not always so smooth, full of tests. And passing through those tests and training, they become divine elite commandos. But ultimately they overcome all the tests, overcome and overpower by their own devotional power, potency, or higher devotional ability, higher spiritual devotional ability, and also receiving some grace from above, some help. So then, they overcome all the difficulties of life, one after another. Finally, they are shining with glories and victory, with all success. Finally. But they are never collapsed. They never collapse to all the mundane difficulties or miseries or even turmoils. They don't. They survive. Not only survive, they powerfully overcome with a superior ability, deeper, higher spiritual ability, divine ability from within, from their devoted self, also while praying for the help from above, from the Supreme Lord. Help me to nicely survive, to overcome all the difficulties. Since you are allowing them to happen, please help me also. I am also trying my best to help me with my own ability, but it may not always be sufficient. I need your gracious help. I need extra help from your grace. Please help me, my Lord. You are my Lord. You cannot go away. You cannot refuse me. Since you are my Lord, beloved Lord, my divine Master, my Lord, you cannot refuse to help me. I have that natural right to claim some, lovingly claim, devotionally claim some help from you. So Lord also helps. Lord cannot stay away. Helps. And that's how they overcome all the difficulties. And finally they're shining, decorated with glories and glories, winning victories. That's what happens in the great lives. But if you look into their lives, great lives are full of many, some sufferings and difficulties often there. Not always smooth. But the final consequence, the final stage, or even semi-final, starting from semi-final stage to final stage, they are winning victory and victory, decorated, beautified with victory and victory and victory. All success all around. See. So we are needed to follow in their footsteps. Not to get disheartened. Not just easily becoming disheartened or broken-hearted as soon as we are receiving some difficulties, faced with some difficulties in life. Don't be so helpless. We should not be, not just talking to you personally, I'm talking on principle for all of us. We should not be losing heart. We should not be so disappointed and frustrated and losing our heart. No. Rather, we should be carrying on, continuing with higher hope, divine hope. I must overcome. This is temporary. Maybe either these are some tastes allowed by Krishna to appear in my life, okay, or I am reaping some results from my karma, either of them. It's not always that taste being sent by Krishna, okay. It's also we are also reaping the result of our past activities, karma, past and present activities. So any time in life when we start suffering, any time in our life, in any phase of our life, okay, if some suffering comes, great difficulties coming, it's not necessarily being sent by Krishna, okay, allowed by Krishna or sent by him, but we are simply reaping the result of our past karma, bad karma. Happens that way. So we are required to go through it, required to take it, pass through it, and then it will be over. So it's not everything sent by Krishna. But when it is sent by Krishna, then it is for the higher reason, ultimately for the higher purpose, to make us stronger like elite commandos. So, but in the life of devotees, even when in the past lives, even if they incurred bad karmas, and in this life they are suffering, but as long as they remain very much sheltered in Krishna, dedicated, devoted, even on the face of turmoil and all troubles, difficulties, those bad karma leave very soon. They cannot continue for long. Some point that all the troubles and difficulties caused by past bad karma also takes leave soon, goes away by some interference of Krishna. It can happen. In the life of devotees it happens. It doesn't happen that way in the life of ordinary Kurmi people who are not devotees. So we are faced with difficulties in our life in both ways. By the effect of karma, by the reaction of karma, our own, which we accumulated through our actions. Also, due to the cause of some test, Krishna playfully sending to test the quality and standard, power of our dedication and devotion to Him. But again, back to the point. It's not that. It may sometimes happen, some wealth and all material facilities, wealth, everything is taken away from the life of the Krishna devotee by Lord. Sometimes it may happen like that. But it's not always the case. It doesn't happen. It doesn't have to be happening. Krishna is playful Lord. When He has got a certain specific purpose with a specific devotee, then He sends that kind of test to make him elite commando, make him or her like spiritual elite commando. But for what devotee, he doesn't need that. He doesn't feel inspired to be testing that devotee in that way. He doesn't do that. So it's not that whenever somebody will become Krishna devotee, I repeat, it's not that really. It's not the case really that as soon as someone becomes a devotee of Krishna, or when somebody becomes a great devotee of Krishna, all the facilities and riches and positive achievements are all simply taken away from the life of the devotee, making that devotee so poor, so helpless, so weak. Not that. That's not the case. Sometimes it may happen, specific case. But most cases it don't happen. It doesn't happen like that. Something can happen according to karma. Some sufferings may come, loss and gain. But that Krishna is not directly connected with that. So according to karma, see, it happens. Things are temporary in this world, except for relationship of Krishna consciousness, except for our achievement of Krishna conscious life, divine life of Krishna consciousness. Everything else in this mundane world is futile, temporary, mortal. Today you are with so much success, and tomorrow is no more there. Again some failure coming. Again some failure also continuing for a while. Then again some success starts coming. So it's wave. Wave comes up, sometimes down. Sometimes up, sometimes down. So don't need to bother about so much. You don't need to really bother about so much of well and woe, pains and pleasure. Both are futile and temporary in life. We need to pay all importance, give all importance, have our dedication towards an eternal achievement, eternal divine truth, for immortal achievement, which is not temporary. Once it is achieved, it stays in eternity with us. Like light potency goes on in eternity, immortal. Like the way our soul is immortal. Means our real being, real life being is immortal as the energy. Only body changes, body dies. Similarly, the achievement what we have in Krishna consciousness, what we receive through Krishna consciousness, also eternal. That of eternal nature, eternal character, immortal character. Yes. So, don't worry at all. It never means so. Becoming Krishna devotee of Krishna means many things will be taken away from our life.
Yes.
That's a very relative. Okay, that happens in specific cases.
Okay.
Specific cases. That's not the common reality. That's not the common natural reality. Anyone becoming devotee of Krishna will be suffering. Being deprived of many things. Okay, so will be suffering because of everything is taken away from his life. And Krishna wants to make his devotees always destitute and poor. It's not that at all, not that. Rather we find many opposite examples. After one became devotee of Krishna, life started flourishing. Life became so filled with, development, improvement, development. So much flourishing happens. So some exceptional, specific examples cannot be applied in a common way, absolute common way.
Yes.
Okay. So don't worry at all.
And I had one more small question, if it's okay. I feel like sometimes I'm experiencing, especially now, sometimes I feel like I feel my character defect stronger. Maybe it's because of practicing Krishna consciousness, and maybe I'm more, my mind is more calm. So it's like I see my character defects or wrong way of thinking more stronger, and it's normal. It's
that's
very
good.
disturbing.
Well, that's a healthy sign.
Okay.
That you can take it as some sign of your improvement. Okay, healthy sign. That you can figure out, you can be detecting about your own shortcomings, weakness, so that you can correct them, you can repair them, renovate them. So it is good when I can see, when I can clearly detect about some my lackings and shortcomings somewhere, then immediately I detect and I want to repair them, correct them, purify, rectify them, repair them, becoming more healthy. It's a process of improvement, process of purification. It's not a negative thing, it's a positive, healthy thing. True. The more we can be detecting all our shortcomings, which are lacking, and repair it properly, then more we are improved towards fulfillment. Rather, living a long life under the bliss of ignorance, under the satisfaction of ignorance. I am doing fine. I am just doing fine, I am okay. Actually, I am not really fine or not really okay. It's a matter of time to come to manifest so much trouble and difficulties, but I cannot sense it ahead. So we have to live under the true bliss of true enlightenment, not living under the bliss of ignorance. Rather, we must be living under the bliss of enlightenment, true consciousness about ourselves. Then it is a true bliss. Okay, wise realization. That is good. But living under so-called satisfaction, happiness of ignorance is not real satisfaction or happiness, because it will go away. Because I don't understand bad things in my life, my shortcomings, because I am ignorant. Living under ignorance, illusion, that's why. But with the awakenment, with the higher awareness, awakenment, many things are seen. Then I am working on them. I start working on those shortcomings and those things in my life, and then I improve. Correct them and improve a lot. That is sign of progress. If that happens, it's a good sign.